Welcome back, guys, and what we're doing today is jumping on this nasty crusty thing here. We're going to be rebuilding that Hydra-Matic transmission, and if you guys are new to the channel, we have been building this 1953 GMC pickup from the ground up. We've done the frame, which is kind of dirty right now, and I'll explain that in a second. The whole front end's being rebuilt. It's got literally new everything. Shocks, kingpins, sway bar, disc brakes, dual master, brake lines. We are doing a full restoration on it. Now, today though, I really am excited because I get to rebuild this transmission. I've never done anything like this, but let me show you how serious I've been about this. Here is the full display of what we're going to be using, guys. I have been thinking about rebuilding this transmission for longer than I've ever had the truck. This truck has been a passion of mine for various reasons, but here it is. So we have the 52 manual. So this is a 53. The 52 is the first year that GMC ever put it in any of their trucks. This was just for, the trucks in 52 were like service trucks, milk trucks, things like that. I have the 53 manual here up and ready to go so I can follow it step by step. I'm using my fiance's recipe guide holder. Please, no one tell her I want to live through this video. Hydra-Matic overall practices. I really like this book. This came out in 58. So these, the number in the front here where it goes 52 and 58 is an indicator of what year it was made. What's really cool about this is it gives like everything people have learned over the years of making it, some step-by-step breakdowns of certain things, and it even has a really cool of what a Hydra-Matic repair room should look like and everything like that. It's actually really cool. And then I went and hunted down this. Now this is a really cool service manuals that they put out on, GMC put out, or GM put out on their Chevy side. Now there is, completely out of order, but 1, 3, 2, you know, okay. Basically, I should have put that back in order, but it's 1 through 7, and it goes through a step-through-step guide of telling you exactly what you need to do. Now, I believe number 1 shows you. Let's see. Yeah, so number 1 is maintenance and adjustment. 2 is diagnosis, transmission repair, and installation. Part 3, 4, 5, and all the way through 7 for transmission back in the truck. So this is going to be a step-by-step guide. So I definitely have done my research, guys. I have my full overhaul kit here, all seals, new cast iron rings, everything I need. Metal clutches, or the metal pieces for the clutch, and our actual clutches here, all brand new. And my pride and joy is this box sitting right here. Let me see if I can get this stuff out of the way and show you what that is. Now what we have here, and something I've been collecting for probably 3 years now, is this. It should be in the back to give you a good example. Hydra-Matic transmission, all of the specialty tools needed to repair this transmission. Now, plenty of people rebuild these transmissions without every one of these specialty tools. But I did it more because, again, this is a passion project of mine, and I think it's just incredibly cool, all the history. So I have in-play guides. This is the in-play guide here. This is probably a seal installer. I have the actual torque wrench that they have that they talk about in there with the actual part number for it, J1313. This doesn't actually work. I am going to restore it eventually, but I have it. I have throttle lever checking. I have all kinds of other tools. I can't remember the name of every single one right now. This is the actual split ring pliers that they call for. So this is the part number KM414, and this is not the original. This is an aftermarket brand that was made back then, but this is similar to KM630. A bunch of stuff you don't need, guys, but incredibly cool to me. The oil ring wrench. This is for the exhaust valve. I have the actual Kent Moore dial gauge that they talk about in the book to help check things. The governor. This is the governor sleeve alignment tool. I have the throttle lever bending tool, the very sought after. You actually do need this particular tool. This is for one of the internal band adjustments. And then a bunch of other seal installers and stuff like that. Guys, like I said, this is a passion project of mine, and why it's sitting in this very beat up toolbox is for this. So this is an SK toolbox, a brand that was very popular back then, still is, but not as US made anymore. Let me bring you in. This was an original, let's see if I can get the, there it goes. An original Hydra-Matic technician toolbox. So there it is, stamped with the Hydra-Matic badge. And that's it's so cool to me, guys. I can't believe I found this. Like I said, a huge passion project. I will be restoring the toolbox, all the tools. That actually will be a video on this channel much later. Because the truck is priority right now. When I say that I may go into things not knowing what I'm doing or ever done it before, but I do my research, guys. I definitely do that, and I think that's key. I think you can attempt anything, really anything in the world that you want to do, as long as you do enough research and you take it seriously enough. Have respect for what you're doing at all times. And as you guys can tell, I nerd out on all this stuff, but enough of all of that nonsense. Let's actually jump in and start tearing this down. But first, let's go ahead and try to get all this crap off it from the years and decades of abuse it took. Let's finally get started on this transmission, guys. And there it is, guys, all cleaned up. I went ahead and pressure washed it, and that's after pressure washing. It's still caked on there, man. This stuff is just petrified on there. Hey, girl. I didn't bother showing you the pressure washing. I bet you guys have seen that 1,000 times. Plus, I'm not Pudding's Fab Shop. That guy's got moves I couldn't even try to attempt. If you haven't seen that channel, go check it out, Pudding's Fab Shop. I'm not affiliated. The guy's just way better than this channel. Matter of fact, go see those videos. Watch that entire channel, and then when you're done, you know, do come back though. Please do that. All right, guys. So we still have the entire side of here, and you can't see it right now. The light on here is dead, but it's all caked in there. What I'm going to do is bring it up here. We'll get the Taurus members off. We'll get the bell housing out, and that'll bring all of that off. And then we'll just start the disassembly. It's pretty dirty right now. It should be hot tanked, but obviously I don't have anything like that. So we'll just clean it as we go. Best part is we're going through every part, so I really don't have to worry about it. Let's get started, guys. All right, guys. So here it is on the bench. Now what we need to do is go through and get this lock washer off. So it's just a bent over tab. What's kind of interesting though is right here you can see that this tab used to be bent over and it's been knocked back. So we might be dealing with a rebuilt trans. So someone's been in here before at least. The reason why I'm rebuilding it though, besides its obvious state, is it was slipping in third and fourth, and it was having some slippage on the bands for high idle. So it definitely needed a little bit of love, so might as well go all the way through it. Now we'll just knock this back. Now I'm not going to walk you guys through every little thing that I do because, again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just following a book. I'll most likely just put you guys on time lapse and bring you back. Really anything interesting happens. And as we kind of put things back together. And then you're supposed to put it in reverse because reverse will lock this from moving, which I think is all the way back. Perfect. And then it's a 1 7/16 size bolt, but I don't have that. So good old hand tool rescue wrench comes to the rescue. And if you haven't seen Hand Tool Rescue, go check him out. He's awesome with his restoration stuff. And a lot of his, what I like is that he appreciates the history of all of this stuff. There we go. bore us out. Spring. Guessing a spring retainer of some sort. There is... Whoa. There's supposed to be that much play? We're off to a good start. I think that's the only thing holding this on. Yeah. Just slide this off. And all of that nasty crap in there. So that is the other part. And then see, this has springs just like a clutch. And they aren't supposed to be rattling around like that either. That spring is broken. Yeah. Oh, this thing's gonna need some love. We'll figure it out though, guys. Okay, and now we can go ahead and take these 4 bolts off. And the 4th is buried under all this nonsense. Which then brings all this dirt away from everything. And we get to finally take a look inside the old girl. Sludgy. Ooh. Real gritty. Looks like a magnet there, so it's not metal. It's just sludge and dirt. Gonna need to be cleaned out for sure. Okay, so it says remove. And I feel like that doesn't filter much. Yeah. So this is a reusable filter. You just clean it and put it back. But there's no holes. Everything looks good. Now, a real look inside where all the magic happens. Oh, man. All right. Decently clean, nothing glaringly terrible popping out at me. Like I said, it ran, so I don't expect to see, you know, broken parts or anything falling out at me. I know it's a known good trans, or at least a good core. The gear, I'm guessing, because that looks like you could actually run the cable to there if you wanted. This is some kind of extension. It's almost like this already had, God, I can never think of what things are called. This would be like one of those ratio things you would put on if you want to adjust the ratio for your speedometer. Like it already had one, which kind of makes sense because Speedo wasn't as off as I thought it would be. It almost was slower than I thought it should be. So, anyways, we'll look more into it because I'm tongue-tied and I don't know what the hell I'm saying when it comes to that. This bolt here, now it's part of the tail housing, but also it holds in the parking paw, which is the reverse paw that locks the transmission when you put it in reverse, so it works as parking. So, let's go ahead and pull that out. That looks like it has a retainer also, which would make sense if it's such an important bolt. Yep, a little lock retainer. What do we think it is? 9/16? Ooh, it is. There we go. So pull that out. And then it says, this little roller goes on here and this is locked in. So once that bolt's in, that roller can't go anywhere. But this roller cannot be lost. And that can't be lost either. Go ahead and put these together. Does that fit? No, that'd be too convenient. And then you just basically set it off to the side for now and move on to other stuff. So it looks like this bad boy just comes out. Light screwdriver pressure, huh? Don't bend pipe. Nice. This is all coming together. Okay, I'm going to keep cranking this out one by one, reading and going like I've been doing here. Otherwise, this is going to be a 7.5 hour video. All right, guys, we finally get to use some tools. Now, I've been kind of messing around with this, and I think, of course, one of the tools I tracked down doesn't really work appropriately. So I got everything out the way it's supposed to, and let me show you here. Basically, we are recreating our image here. So we use our extension rod, which is here, our clamp, which you see is awesome, our dial indicator, we have everything. Now our in-play guide, here is the problem. It says you're supposed to smack it on with a sharp hammer and then it kind of fits snugly onto the main shaft. So here's your main shaft. And I think it's supposed to help center it up. Almost like what I'm imagining would be like a spark plug socket where it's got like a rubber housing or something. Or maybe a better fit down below. Now I don't know if this was for like a later model. It is this right part number, J2587. And then you're supposed to move it back and forth and measure the in-play. So for a thrust bearing. So basically, in and out here, we have our screwdriver over here kind of wedged to keep the this shaft in place, so it's not moving. So all I kind of did was find the nice edge here, get everything, hold on. And I am using this vintage dial indicator, so who really knows how accurate it is. Could get out a nicer one, I probably will, but let's go ahead and go with this. And we'll put it up against it. Yeah, so about 5, maybe 6 thousandths max is play that I'm getting. 4 to 15 is normal, so we'll call it normal. It just says record the number so you know it for later, all that kind of stuff. I was just excited to use the tools. And of course, the tool doesn't work, but we got close enough. All right, so we need to install this specialty tool, which, believe it or not, that's actually a specialty tool. And it just installs right here and pushes on here, but I need to take this bronze washer off. It was just held in by oil. Okay, so now we can place, is supposed to be here? Yeah. Make a little angle bracket, or I don't even know if it's that important. Guess we're about to find out. Back to the book. Turn another page. All right, guys, of course the footage cut out. I mean, why wouldn't it? That's been my luck with this GoPro. I hate this thing. Now, I went ahead and just finished disassembling, and I'll show you where we're at. So like you were just looking at, we have everything taken down. I know this may scare somebody because it's really dirty, and you do not want that for a transmission. But we will be going through and cleaning everything, don't worry. So we have our transmission case, our reel housing, our oil sleeve, I'm tired, guys. Okay, rear clutch pack, front, the rear band, the front band. I have a wire on it. This says use a wire or spring. It doesn't matter as long as you just don't let this expand out too far, because you can crack the asbestos. We have the sun gear for the rear for reverse, our Taurus members. And what's crazy about this is supposed to have a Taurus check valve, the spring that comes with it, guys. I have it all put away right now. But if the spring that you saw when I first took this off, it actually is supposed to have a retainer to it that bolts down, but there's nowhere to bolt it. There's none of these are threaded. I have no idea what's going on. It's supposed to be here, just like that, guys. So I got to figure that out. This check valve retainer, I don't have any of that. So I don't know, but it doesn't look like it bolts down. So the transmission ran, so I may just leave it. I don't know. We have our Taurus cover here. So our broken spring, as you can see. This one's still really tight, so that's actually the good spring. These are just hanging out. They're ready to exit the building. Jeez. And, oh yeah, and then also in one of our clutch packs, we have this bushing that's just worn, just gone. So I need to figure out what I can do about that. But as far as that, it's all done. We have all of our other odds and ends here. You know, our servos front and back, our main shaft, all that stuff. It's actually organized. I got all the bags labeled. Everything's ready to go. I know it's kind of just sitting here, but I don't have a ton of room. I'm going to pull it all out, clean it. We have a new pan over here that I'll be bringing over here so that I can actually have a clean pan for assembly and all that other stuff. And honestly, guys, it's really not that scary once you get into it. This is super simple. I could probably put it together pretty easily. And what you do now is step by step go through and repair each individual part. So they have you take apart this clutch pack, get everything you need, swap out all the clutches, and then put it back together. Same here. And with each individual item, they have you rebuild it. So by the time you're done, you have the same items you have now, and you just install in reverse, which is just a couple of bolts and putting it all back together. It's actually really nice how that manual does it. So I'm actually pretty excited for this. But I'm going to end this video here, guys. This is the disassembly. We'll do the next video of putting it all back together and hopefully doing it right. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care.